Waiting in the wing this morning to peek on a few of the headlines so far. Good to have you. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Charles. And good morning, the world. Happy to be here again today.
Eve of Valentine. I was expecting, okay, you have red and white up there, so it's fine.
Charles, my red and white has always been here. And that's a symbol of my belief and who I am. I am a pure and original Igbo man. And I'm proud of it, no matter what anybody thinks. No apologies. Actually, did not make myself Igbo man. It was God in His infinite mercy brought me here and said, go there, stay, and prosper. So any force that want to stop me from prospering is against God. And that's my belief. Because the God who brought me here will not allow anybody to stop me from living long and prospering.
Amen. Fantastic.
For your love of tomorrow. You have been announcing it and I told you you're a suspect. If you just, I don't know, let's define what love are you talking about tomorrow?
I mean, it's okay to be a suspect because, again, if love is a crime, then I'm ready to go to jail.
That's philosophical. It sounds sounds like you are Shakespeare. You know, it's like Socrates is making. Charles, let's go. Love is in the air. For whatever that means to you, let it be what God preaches about love. Because
Absolutely.
some people have manufactured their own love. And every 14th February started quietly, but has grown into where parents become conscious and palpitation rules. Don't know what the Gen Z would do with the February 14th. They do not understand even the origin. Some of them don't even know what it is. They just think it's a day you go into the street and show your royal robes and you know, go out of the way, go wild, and then 3 months after you start spitting, you start dropping spits, and you know that kind of thing. Your mom will be asking you,
Right.
Chinakorom, what is wrong with you? Is there, you know, all those stories. That's not what we are talking about. I know I'm a Christian, and the Bible talked about the real, undiluted love that is called, what's that name they call it? The kind of love Jesus preached. The love of sacrifice. The love of live and let live. The love of caring for your neighbor. Doing unto others as you want them to do unto you. And if that is what all this thing is all about, I agree with them. But if not, because I didn't see it in Nigeria, this is a country of dog eat dog, rat race. There's so much injustice, so much wickedness. And some of these people talking about wickedness, you can find them talking about Valentine. I will tell you, that's why I'm confused. A lot of people do not know what the Valentine we're going to celebrate tomorrow stand for. So what the noise about when we don't even know the meaning? And it's better to know the meaning of what you celebrate so that you become accountable and responsible for whatever comes out of it. You know? That's it, Charles. So let's go into with what is happening in Nigerian newspapers today. You find that these are the people who are ready to celebrate love today.
There's actually no love. If there was, trust me, I'm not sure the NLC would be predicting or maybe threatening to go on a strike.
Because their own love, the people, you know, it takes what you like to others to do unto you. That's the do unto others. Those people in telecom industry, because they want to make money, they've thrown every element of humanity. My argument, if it's becoming difficult for you to operate, you up. There's regulation. I don't think the statute, the policy that established NCC said that they will be there as a regulatory body and you have increase in tariff for 50% and you approve it. Then there's no need for NCC to be there. Because my understanding of regulatory body is to make sure that the agencies they regulate do not take advantage of the customers. That's how when you're talking about regulation in tariff, you have NEC, National Electric Regulation Commission. Then they have customized to states. Now you have Enugu Electric Regulation, EC. Just like they are going into states very soon, all the states will have there. So when you are a disco in any of the states, you get up and say the cost of generating and distributing electricity is this, you want to go. If you leave the capitalist spirit running among all the establishment, and that's why when people started the privatization, capitalism, doing all this, a lot of people were like, can we handle it? But then the checks and balances that is built into our system is supposed to stop. You don't just go 50%. That means the next one is 100%. But you start with 5%, 10%, 20%, you go somewhere. What's 50% in a population of 240 million? I go with labor. Anybody who can afford to cut off the services, even if they want to stop, to force it that we collectively stop. Because that's what Nigerians want. Nothing works here unless you help it along. If you allow these people, they will take pound of flesh. Is it not enough? So much hike everywhere. From who? The same population. Have we regenerated beyond 200 million? And 240 million, even want some people, we don't even know our numbers. But assuming we are working with 200 million for a population that is talking about telecom services, with more than 70% of this population subscribing to telecom services, you want to increase service hike by 50%. I go with labor. I support whatever labor is going to do to make them come down. We are saying there should be a level where you say, well, there's a place where labor will go to say, okay, probably they may need to allow them go. But for this 50%, they insisted they must impose on Nigeria, and Nigerian establishments are forcing it. I go with the mouthpiece of the common man. Where's the labor? If we succeed, we succeed. If we do not, we take it. But there's a daring. They want Nigerians to see whether they've gone ahead with it over time. Nobody else. There are even some, what they say, undeclared service charges they charge Nigerians. Because this digitalization, this telecom is still new on Nigeria. They have cheated Nigeria for too long. We don't disclose the charges they charge Nigerians. And they now came open to make a call for 1 minute in this population. Just check what it is. Overseas average of 17 naira per a minute call. Data 400 and we want us to keep quiet. After that one, you go to the filling station to buy fuel of 8,000 naira. You go to the market to buy a mudu of gari for over 6,000 naira. You go for beans for home, going to 16, 15,000. Now you come back. You pay for electricity. Whatever they put that one, that's total confusion. Nobody even know what they charge. Because people, most Nigerians can't explain. You go there and put money, just that what they are charging is in thousands. Give me 3,000 naira power. Whatever the number they give you, what is the rate per unit of power you use, you don't know. And they're not ready to explain. Every day they go, bribe the establishments that should regulate, and they allow this increase. And you think we want to keep quiet? It's getting to a point to close down. And then the only thing, somebody I said, Nigerians are so docile. Close this nation to 4 hours. Then the power will know how much they lost. Everybody will start counting costs. All this struggle to continue is what is making them increases. They think we only talk and not do anything. I go with labor. I support labor.
But over time, labor, again, have been seen to be just backing and not biting.
But they just say something, whether they backed and bite. That's whatever they have said now, we support them. Let's see how far they can bite. But you say something, you die. You don't say something, you die. Why not say it and die? Labor can keep quiet. Even if people still feel they are not biting enough, they bite to the power you have. You can have 32 teeth in your mouth. The power to bite deep depends on the power that controlling your teeth to bite. So it's not to have teeth. It's not just enough to have teeth. Do you have power to bite? But then, even if you push a goat and circle a goat to a very dangerous corner, the goat will bare the teeth and say, if you touch me further, I'll bite. But ordinary goat don't bite. So you push Nigerians to a point, and you push labor to a point, you keep assuming they can't bite, they can't bite. You get to a point, you have to roll out the army, the police, everybody, they still use data. They go homes, they buy power. They are the people who will kill the ones who are in the street. So let's not deceive ourselves. If you get to a point, nobody will stand anybody to kill anybody in this country. Because when that thing hit the ceiling fan, everybody, whether you are IG or police or GOC, of all the commanding stations in army barracks in Nigeria, you use power, you use data, you use telephone. You're going to live in a house that's high rented. We've been crying here. Everything, you go to the same market to buy food. So then they're not deceive themselves. Because you can be secured because you are paid high with the being IGP, GOC, and all these positions. What of the DPOs, commanding stations? How much are they earn? You get to a point where these people we turn back and said we cannot kill our people further because they are our people. Whatever is affecting them is affecting us. Let them not depend on that. When Nigerians are saying something for too long, you can suppress them now. You keep quiet. We talked about hiking fuel. You suppressed and you are running it. We talk about that on energy and electricity. You suppress and you even planning a second one. Look at what is going to cost. Look at that guidance, the graph of what is going to cost Nigerian manufacturers. 500,000 NAFDAC, 500,000 SON. Just check that. Go back to that. How much you pay to run a business in Nigeria? 40-foot container clearance, 26 million. 20-foot container clearance, 20 million. Demurrage for 40-foot container, 68,500 naira per day. Meanwhile, the system will make this in land. You cannot collect it in that day. So they will, before you, the process, the bureaucracy and red tape in Nigerian ports, you'll be paying 68,000 naira, 68,500 naira. Then demurrage for the other one, 20-foot container, 48,000. This on the same Nigerians. And you think people will keep quiet? What do Nigerians manufacture? And we depend on import. And you go to importation, now you say importers divert cargo to Togo and all the other West African ports. Because of this, how can you clearly bring confusion into a country? In the name that you want to make money? Start killing people. I think the government has become another ritual killers. What's the difference? What do ritual killers kill for? With all this tax, every corner, tax, from federal government to state government to local government in Nigeria, tax, and the people they tax, they don't have environment to survive. They don't breathe. You are taxing, and you think it will continue. God help us. God will bless Nigeria. Let's see how we succeed. Because it's clearly going to a point they are pushing the people to really say, to bear teeth and bite. You know, some people may not have teeth. Even somebody who doesn't have teeth again, you push him, you use his gums to bite. And when you bite with gums, it comes with venom, direct. So. Tax reform bills, advance, amid the pushback. Tax reform bills have been, there's a lot of pushback. They has not been settled. But they are also ready to push it up. Nothing works here. Whatever you say doesn't work. They are talking to us. They are not talking with us. They have to push it back. At that point, they are so wise. They know more than the people who send them there. The view is clearer from where they are. Even when the view is clearer, they don't talk that. You climb up there, you're still going through these people to go back. It's going to be dangerous. That's what I can say. Let Nigeria pull back and reflect on whoever is pushing Nigeria to this point of destabilization. Whoever is determining what will happen in Nigerian economy doesn't want Nigeria to survive. That's why you see some countries pulling out of some of these international organizations because they are what they called, they only want pound of flesh. They have no single commitment to love. It's only, they will tell you clearly, in capitalism, there's no free meal. They are not in love with us. They just want what they will get from us. They advise you. There's no so much thing that we have not had in the dictionary of Nigerian governance system that have introduced. If IMF did not tell you to go make and go and reduce the value of your currency, they would tell you to go into what they call it, the one that we had during the army regime, you know, those things.
All right. Quite an interesting discourse here this morning. So much has been said about the developments happening in our country. Chris Maduka is passionate always about the issues that we're facing as a nation. Some other headlines that
124 journalists killed worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, when a slave sees how a fellow slave is being buried, he will know he will face the same. So you don't see, we are slaves, and this is our territory, this is our constituency. We are journalists, we are broadcasters, this is area where we are struggling to survive, and we see our fellow journalists being killed. You can't see any headline where journalists are being killed all over the world. I won't talk about it. Even if you want, let it be one line and a headline. And we condemn and stand condemned. In Nigeria, what they do is better than killing. They gag journalists. They block your mouth, hold you on the throat. You cannot breathe. Some of the Nigerian journalists, because of self-censorship, they will ask you who won't die. They will tell you that Goodluck Jonathan said the life of a Nigerian is worth my political ambition. So they will tell you there's no story in Nigeria you want to go and cover, no issue in Nigeria you want to cover that's worth your life as a journalist. And I ask them, this thing that is happening now, you want to talk, there's a hike. You are afraid. You want to talk, there's a hike in electricity. You can't talk about it and then shout about it, because if you do not, this is what we live in our life. Life that you can't even trek the street without paying tax. If there's nothing they can do, some of them can honorably resign if they don't have any other. If it's to tax us to death, it's the only thing they can to govern the state, then forget it.
All right. Israel is accounting for more of because of what has happened between Gaza and the Gaza Strip, and of course Israel and Hamas. Israel is noted to be,
and the CPG that's saying that.
Yes.
They are biased. There are areas of the countries in the world, Pakistan, in Arab countries, journalists are being killed every day. Israel is not. I'm not defending Israel if Israel kills journalists with the same way they will condemn it when others are killed. But we will not say Israel is leading in killing of journalists. When did that start? What caused it? Is it only journalists that are killed? In all war situations of the world, there's level of engagement. There are Arab countries that have never followed rules of engagement when it comes to journalism and coverage of wars. So let's not go about that. I don't want to talk about it. It's biased. And you see biased report, it smells. If you're an editor, you know the stories that smell of pepper soup. You know the one that smell of brand new notes. You know the one that it looks like brown envelope journalism. We know this one is biased. As far as that's my belief. And since I'm reviewing this story, tell them that's what I said. Israel is not known for killing journalists. Let's not go there.
All right. We're out of time already because it's already 8:30. We can just run through some of
Tanker fire. FG malls ban on trucks with 60,000 liters capacity.
I mean, the same damage that a 30,000 capacity tank would do is almost the same that 60,000 would do. So I'm wondering why.
It's not. It's not.
Is it?
30,000 or
Would
33,000 is smaller. If you see 60,000 tanker moving on the road with Nigerian road system, imagine 60,000 capacity tanker moving from Lagos to Sokoto.
I'm also talking about the impact of the danger. I mean, it's almost the same thing. I mean, it's going to cause
the
fire
thing
if
on
it
the
happens.
road,
Yeah.
The weight on the road, knowing that Nigerians build their road with biscuits, the contractors build road with biscuits. These heavy trucks on the road, you count that. What is causing bad roads to tankers to along the line with some assault? You've not seen anyone catching fire. There must be an accident.
But
something happens.
It's an indictment on the government. I mean, if you say that the road is biscuit, it's an indictment on the government.
Who am I indicting before? It's the Nigerian government that build roads. If they build roads that are that are not standard, haven't you seen when some of the roads, how they go, the racketeering that go with the road? Even Ministry of Works, they have supervising engineers that supervise roads. They are bribed. The qualities. Somebody was making a virtual video going around of the road, the capacity of a road, the metal rod that used to construct houses in Nigeria, and all the construction and the gutter and the sewage system. The standard has reduced. And we have SON. We have Ministry of Works. And contractor will use it to build gutter that when rain will carry out and the road will flood, and you want us to start painting walls for them. There is corruption. I told you, Nigerians are fantastically corrupt, and it's going round and round. So everybody get their portion of it. But what is painful is that at the point you are in a hospital, on a road, and things that are concerned with this kind of mass movement, you still take bribe in those places. I'm not saying bribe, you can take it when one person's life is involved. Because one person's life can have multiplier effect. But we close eyes to chop and die in Nigeria. And this is where it has brought us. A level where life does not worth nothing. And what we sow, we are reaping. Because, remember my story, INM Nigeria, Siainaka. We are all involved.
All right, Chris, let's leave it here. Just because of time, we just have to run off. I want to say a very big thank you to Chris Maduka for his insights on the headlines on our dailies this morning.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
We're back shortly after this. Do stay with us.